What's up, yo? Big Cat 305 here. Today we're making chicken souvlaki on the Blackstone. Let's go. All right, getting right to our ingredients. We've got our free-range chicken thighs, skinless and boneless. There's 6 thighs in there. We've got some tzatziki sauce we're going to put on top of that. For the marinade, we have some lemons, some olive oil, salt, pepper, oregano, and parsley. We also add some minced garlic as well, but it's not showing. And to pair along with the chicken, we're going to make a beautiful cucumber and tomato salad. We've got some English cucumbers, which are awesome, some feta cheese, red onion, and those cherry tomatoes. So we've got about 2 pounds of chicken thighs. Make sure you rinse them really good and pat them dry. And I'd like to just kind of keep it simple here. I first start off by slicing it right down that center piece that's kind of separating the two, the smaller and the larger. This smaller piece I usually cut in half, but that was kind of small. And then the larger piece, I try to get 3 out of that. About 1.5 to 2 inches cubes. The important thing is just try to get them in the same size. Here's the second one. I'll do it again here for you. Slice it right down that line. Turn it sideways, and then go ahead and slice it right in half. And then the larger piece, I'll go ahead and try to get 3 out of that one. So I'll go fast here for you. Again, just try to keep them the same size so they cook evenly. That's the main thing here. Some people like chicken breasts, which is great. You can do that as well. I personally like the thighs. They just, to me, come out a little bit juicier. And then you can also trim that fat a little bit if you like, but you can spend a lot of time. So here we're going to squeeze a lemon into our chicken pieces. Here I should have probably done the fingers trick to keep those seeds out, but I did not. But I did dig them out. Honest to goodness, and there they are right there. See? Then we add in our olive oil. I put in about 1/3 cup. I just eyeball it, but you can measure it if you like. 1/3 cup. I'll have all the ingredients and measurements down in the description below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button while you're down there. Then we're going to add some oregano. I've put in about 2 teaspoons of oregano. This is really the clutch ingredient, in my opinion, for the Greek Chicken Souvlaki. That oregano just kicks it up. It really tastes great. And then about 1 teaspoon of parsley, dried parsley flakes. Again, eyeballing it, but that's how I like to cook. There you go. About 1 teaspoon of sea salt. I actually did a little bit less. That sea salt's pretty strong. Kosher salt works great as well. So 1 teaspoon of that. About 1/2 teaspoon of black peppercorn ground up. At this point, the aromatics are really smelling good. So put in that black peppercorn. Sounds delicious. And then finally, our minced garlic. About 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. This is really an awesome ingredient as well. The punchiness of that garlic really brings it to the next level. And then you just want to get your hands dirty here, whether you're wearing gloves or not. And take your time with this. Really make sure you mix it, all those spices and garlic and everything else into that chicken. Just get it all over there as much as you possibly can. Now, time for the skewering. This is a little trick that I do. I soak these for about 1/2 hour and then freeze them. And you can just go to your freezer and they're ready to go. Here we're just going to put these chicken pieces on these skewers as evenly as possible. This is part of the prep. You can do this later or you can do this now. I always say when I'm done with the prep, I want it to be done. So going fast here, you can see I'm just trying to get them as evenly as possible. And we make 5 good-sized skewers. Then stick in the fridge for at least 1/2 hour. And on to the cucumber tomato salad. Let me tell you, these English cucumbers, if you haven't tried them before, you got to give them a shot. First time I tried them, I'm like, what the heck are these? But they are so good. They're so crunchy. I'll take these all day long. So I cut them into about 6-inch pieces and then quarter them. And then I dice them at about 1 inch apart. And I don't want to slice them too thin because I like them a little bit of consistency, a little thick. And I do the same thing for the other one. And then we have our cherry tomatoes. Super simple. You give them a rinse and then you slice them. I like to slice them diagonally. It makes them look a little bit more presentable. They look really good. And then you take a red onion here. I used 1/2 of the red onion but I would suggest doing a quarter for this recipe. It's pretty strong, and I really I used a little bit too much. I ended up having to take some of it out, actually. So again, I used a half here, and I do half circle slices for this particular recipe. So go fast here for you. And next up, we add some olive oil. I'd say about a tablespoon of olive oil. Then we add some salt. Don't go too crazy with the salt and pepper here. I'd say about half a teaspoon of salt and maybe a quarter teaspoon of pepper, just to give it a little bit of spices, but all those ingredients make it the flavor so good. And then finally a little bit of oregano as well, just a little bit, just to keep it along with the chicken dish. That's it. You give it a good mix here, and you can see all those colors, man. That is beautiful. They look great. Just give it a nice good mix. Get all that olive oil and the salt and pepper combined with the veggies. And then almost forgot the feta cheese. Just give a little sprinkle of that to your liking. One more little bit of a mix, and that's it. Let's head out to the Blackstone. All right, we've got the Blackstone preheated to about 350 to 375. Put down some avocado oil here and just lube up that entire griddle surface. We're going to use it, and time for the fun part. Put down our souvlaki. You can hear that sizzle. Oh my goodness. Yep. So that's the sound you definitely want to hear. You want to make sure it's at a high enough heat where you get a good sear. If you put it on too low, then it's going to take forever. So you want it a good 350 to 375. And literally after about a minute or two, I like to try to move them around a little bit because it will get stuck, even though you put down some oil. Just because of the different spices and garlic, you just want to break that up a little bit. So just give it a little wiggle back and forth. Make sure it's not stuck when you first start after about a minute or so. Here's a little shot from the other side. Looking good. Get yourself a good pair of these 18-inch tongs too. They work really well. Save your hand from burning too, let me tell you. I have done it. Triple click. And after about 2 minutes, I go ahead and give them a turn. And there you go. Look at that sear. Looks beautiful. Second one did not have quite the sear. That's okay. We're going to move these around, little griddle management as we need to. But you can see as I'm turning these, the majority of them have a pretty good sear. It's a good start. And then this is a process. You're just going to turn them every minute or two, continuing cooking evenly. Continuing to get them from sticking on the bottom. And it's kind of like cooking a hot dog. You kind of want to turn it and make sure that it's getting cooked evenly. It's not getting super burnt on one side and raw on the other. So you kind of have to finagle them together. I actually end up putting them together kind of like hot dogs later on. You'll see that. But yeah, they smell delicious. The sound is amazing. Here's the griddle management. So just moving them around. You know, every griddle has its different hot spots you have to deal with. So that's part of the fun. Part of the fun of cooking. And they are looking good. So just keep working them. Keep turning them. Most foods you're supposed to leave alone. This one I would say don't leave alone because you don't want them getting super burnt. But they have to be cooked on the inside. So they look great. Just let them continue cooking. Here's a little close-up. And you can see that just the outside colors are looking amazing. So once you get it to this level and the outside looks kind of where you want it, they're going to continue cooking because the inside is not done. So here's where you want to turn down the griddle a little bit. I'd say turn it down to about 325 to 350 just so we can cook that inside but not make it look black. So at this point we're up around the 150 range, so we got to get up to 165. That's the done temperature. And then so we close the lid here just to finish it off. And there they go. They look great. It is time to plate them up. I plate them right there on the Blackstone, keeps them nice and hot. And they look absolutely delicious. Here's where you get a little creative with your plating. And you can see right here, we put some tzatziki sauce on top of it with our zucchini and tomato salad And the lemons, it looks absolutely delicious. Everybody, thank you for stopping by. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and check out one of these latest videos. Everybody, have a great day.